So, hey guys, welcome back to the pod. Today we're joined with a special guest, welcoming Jessica to the pod.
Hi.
We're going to be talking about college today and our experience because we both met in college and we've just finally recovered over the trauma of college.
Just got out of the mental asylum.
Yeah, we just got released last week, so we feel like this is
Feels weird to be in normal clothes.
We're used to the restraint jackets.
They were kind of cute though.
Yeah, we made them work, you know, in the white walls, so we decorated them. It's nice.
Aesthetic.
So today we're going to be talking about college. Hello?
I'm actually on theme, Aleah. Look. I got those.
Yeah, literally, I feel very underdressed for this. It's like
And the sambas.
And the sambas!
Woo!
Sambas are in, guys. Just remember
Sambas
that.
are in.
Yeah, sambas.
I was so happy when you said that.
Everyone was, because sambas are real. I just feel like everyone was hating on sambas for no real reason. You know, it's like one of those trend things. It's like when you hate on something, everyone else just jumps on that, like the hate train. Yeah. Sambas are great.
Sambas are amazing.
I love sambas. My sambas are ruined, to be fair. I should get a new pair. I might get an out there colour just to like annoy everyone.
I want a pink pair.
Yeah, I've seen the pink and green pair that I've seen. Is it pink and green? I think they're pink and green that I've seen. I was like, I need them. The ones with maybe they're not sambos. Sambos. Sambos.
Sambos.
Sorry. Not you. But yeah, so honestly, shout out to the sambas today. We're sponsored by Adidas.
What? We really are. Jamaica got a
bobsleigh. So shout out Adidas for the sponsors in this episode.
Last one was Pee-wee's.
Literally. So we'll start with our first day at college. Oh my god.
We just thought we would speak on our experience because I feel like a lot of people that speak about this particular college, but also a lot of other colleges, they're quite afraid to talk up and speak about what it was actually like, when we know that a lot of people feel the exact same way as we do, but they just never spoke out about it.
Yeah, I feel like it's kind of an uncommon thing for people to speak out, especially when they feel like they're a minority, when everyone else is talking so, like, kind of like hyping it up, do you know, to make it that something it's not. So we thought we'd share our experiences of it, because, again, like you said, like, not a lot of people would say, like, the bad stuff about it, you know?
Mm-hmm. So here we are.
Yeah, here we are.
They sent us. Their card declined at therapy. So we did acting and performance at college, and that was
great.
You had to audition for it. I feel like a lot of other colleges it's just like an interview, but this one was like a full on audition.
Yeah, this one felt like really, I got auditioned as well, and like all the auditions were like everyone was taken in like different groups. Mm-hmm. So when you showed up to the audition, you really thought like everyone was going to be there that day to get auditioned, and it wasn't like that at all. Like you were all put in different groups, like you had different people auditioning you and stuff like that. So already feel like kind of an unfair advantage off the bat. You know what I mean? Like easily lecturers could be picking favourites then and there. That was a bit where I was like, oh no way, you know. And I feel like they the first day they kind of sat us in the hall, and it was like that kind of brainwashing era of a college course where they're like telling you about it, and they're like, oh, it's going to be amazing, it's going to be life changing.
Yeah.
And everything they said just it didn't really add up to me. Like I just feel like it was more like they made out for it to be like life changing. Like this is it.
They were selling a dream.
Yeah.
And it was the perfect people to pitch it to, as the people that wanted to be
living the dream.
Literally. The
us,
American
the
dream.
mugs. Literally straight up, us two mugs feel like, yes!
Hollywood!
Yes! Fame! Straight up. And then they were like, this is it. Like, this is it for you guys. Like, genuinely, like... And honestly, they made out that they were going to just, like, build us up from where we were, but it was more like a case of breaking us down emotionally.
It was.
Straight up.
That literally is their tactic. Every single, like, college for any kind of art is breaking people down to build them back up to be the exact same way that they want them to be.
Yeah, literally. For starters, first red flag for me was off the bat when I did my audition in the room, and then they kind of spoke to me about it, and they were like, just to let you know, like, you don't have the grades, like, you don't have the right grades to get in here, but we're willing to take you on if you think you're mentally, like, ready to do it.
Mentally?
I don't know, like, what? Clinically? Like, no, what do you call that? Like, my education was like, I thought my education was good enough to do it, and I was like, well, no. But I was like, obviously I wanted to do this, so I was like, yeah, I'm ready, like, I can do this. Big mistake. Should have been the first red flag.
No, literally. No, because the same thing happened to me, and I kind of wish I wish that you actually did need the grace to get in.
Same, because I wouldn't have done it. That would have saved me years of like recovering from trauma about it. So yeah, same. So next time, don't let anyone, if you don't have higher English, don't do it.
Don't do it.
Save yourself. If you have higher English, good luck, honestly.
Also, there was nothing to do with higher English in the thing.
It was just for like the essays and stuff like that, because you had a lot of essays to write, so that's why you needed it. But I feel like Nat 5, like with that.
Yeah, no, for real. I had like Nat 1.
Mentally, I had Nat 1 too. Nat 0.
Is that what you meant by Nat 0? Is that what you meant by that? I thought you were going perfect, Jessica. Good job, Jessica.
We're proud of you, Jessica. No, she's tearing you down, girl.
So who done your audition?
I'm not gonna lie, I actually can't really remember who the two. I think it was two guys that done it for me.
2 guys?
Yeah.
We need to come up with some code names for these people. Who done my audition? To be fair, I can't really remember. I know that one of them was, shall we call her like Cheese?
Real.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cheese.
Yeah.
Because do you not remember the first day she walked in, she had like a block of cheese and she was eating it? It was like a whole block of cheese.
My memory, I was traumatized. Like, I blanked this all
Fair
out.
enough. They gave you like the electrolysis when
Yeah,
you were
I actually
in the
did. I got the
mental
electric
asylum.
chair straight up. Like, I got a lobotomy after that.
Oh my god, can I get one?
you were no, because you didn't have a high enough you didn't have a high enough English to get that.
I thought it was a 2-for-1. How was your audition?
To be fair, like, I'd put a lot of work into it. Like, I really grafted for that part. Talking acting sense, I probably shouldn't have done the piece that I did. I did this like crazy like play where I played like a ridiculously old woman for like my age. I was literally like 17 at the time when I auditioned. So how I got in with that piece, I will never know. But I honestly left no crumbs, to be fair. So yeah.
Yeah.
These bitches must have thought like, wow, like she looks a lot older, and they just were like, yeah, sick, let her in, because I was genuinely.
No,
like,
they told you that it was like perfect for you.
yeah, they told me. Yeah, well, no, at first
Not
they were
perfect, but
they said like I did good considering like I shouldn't have played someone that old. Do you know what I mean? Which is fair. It was like fair enough feedback. Like I probably shouldn't have. But what I was going for was kind of like the out there piece that was going to stand out. You know, because I thought a lot of people would just choose like kind of more basic pieces that were more like overdone.
Like me.
Yeah, literally like you. You still lying though. Maybe I shouldn't have put as much. But you were literally like, no. To be fair, no. You'd done pieces that I'd never heard of. But like
Yeah, because they were like, do one. Was it one Shakespeare?
yeah.
One Shakespeare and one from a play. I was like, I've never seen Shakespeare or a play, so I'm just gonna do. I think I done one from like a musical and then one from like a movie.
Yeah,
I'm never like sure.
I did a play and I did a Shakespeare one.
I don't know any Shakespeare.
Neither did I. I had to learn. I had to do the accent and everything. It was awful, genuinely.
No.
But yeah, it was just kind of like standard practice. Like it was just like Shakespeare, just basic kind of like, you know, like everything that everyone's already seen or heard of, and then like one random play. But it was, again, a lot of the other auditions were kind of overdone. I'm assuming they were overdone because that's what they did say. They were like, a lot of people just kind of like followed the kind of basics of like what everyone else does.
Yeah.
And I think that's how I got in, was my standout piece was like, wow, she had the confidence to go in there and do that. But like, little did they know, I genuinely was clueless that I wasn't actually meant to be playing an old woman. So I was fully just giving it my all, and then they were like, yeah, sick man, let her in. I was like, yes. But yeah, so that was how my audition went. But it was good. Other than that, I think it went pretty well. I'm saying that, but looking back on it now, I wonder if they're like filmed or that. If I seen it now, I'd probably be like, oh, I could have done that a lot better, you know.
Was it filmed? I can't even remember.
I feel like I'd be a lot more nervous if it was filmed, so I don't know.
No, I don't think it was filmed.
I hope not.
No, I don't think it was.
For my sake.
But then when we actually did get in, we had to sit through everybody else's.
Yeah, we had to do it again, and
We
then
had to
see
do it
everyone
again,
else's.
and it was months later. I didn't know it. I didn't know it at the time when I was doing it. I was messing up every single thing that I was doing, and they were like, "Yeah, perfect." Like, to be fair, the criteria for getting in wasn't really, like, it wasn't.
It wasn't like you had to do this immaculate,
Yeah.
you know, piece. Because I remember I was still holding the lines. I'm pretty
Oh, were
sure.
you?
Yeah, 110. Like,
I wish I
not know
did.
to her.
No, but when we actually did go like our first day we had to do our auditions in front of like everybody that we just met.
Yeah.
And we were all like relatively the same age, kind of. I mean, you were the youngest.
I was the youngest in the class. Like, I felt like such the underdog. I feel like everyone was like, wow. Like, I was the one that always had the mad dyed hair, and I was just kind of out there. Like, I was like the cookie one that everyone was like, how the did she get in? Like, straight up, how the like, and but then I did my piece, and I remember everyone coming up and being like, you know what, that was actually respectable, like, we respect you for that. And then I got absolutely grilled for doing someone that was like way older, and they're like, well, if you put age, like the kind of age, was it, I was going to say age play, that's crazy, that's
age play.
I can't, that's not the right thing. But like kind of your age range that you were like playing for, like, it was way too old. Like, I was playing an older woman that was way too old for like my age range. But then they told us our age ranges as well.
Yeah.
And I was the youngest in the class, and they told me I was the oldest. That was the most mortifying thing ever. I started at 17. All these other, like, pretty much young adults, and I'm literally the only 17-year-old in there. And then they come to me, and they're like, everyone else got maybe, like, you could play from, like, a 16-year-old to, like, a 25-year-old. And they were like, yeah, you. Like, maybe we'll say, like, 19 to 30. And I was like, hold up. What?
You're like middle-aged, divorced twice.
Yeah, literally. It was really awkward. I feel like everyone thinks actors are always so, like, you know, brave, but that was the most nerve-wracking thing I've ever done. Like, honestly, I was way too young to be going into that anyway, and I was mentally, like, so unwell back then, like, and then it made it worse. I thought this would be a good thing for my confidence, and if anything, it just, like, it was so bad for me.
No.
Like, it really mentally, like, drained me, like, totally. I ended up, at the end of it, I ended up not going back into acting for years.
No, literally. I mean, I feel like you could be Beyonce walking in there, and you would walk out like a shell of like a person.
Yeah,
you could be
totally.
like the most confident person, and they would just break you down to nothing.
Yeah, I totally agree.
So what was our first impressions of each other?
Honestly, my first impressions with you, I was fucking, well, me being me, right, we got emailed a list that everyone was in the class, and I don't know if I told you this.
Did you like Facebook everybody?
So did I. Everybody, I was like atting everybody, I was like making sure everyone's name was typed in perfectly, and I found you, and I was like, oh fuck, like, and then I would swipe to someone else going there, so I'd be like, fuck. I'm literally sat there 17, and like, to me, you were like, I was like, she's like giving Ariana Grande, and I'm like a fud. Like, I was like, there's no way I can walk into this class. When you were all, it was just like really normal looking people, and I got told like, oh, you're gonna be surrounded by so many weird people that you'll get along with and all that. Like, I was sold a dream that I was gonna meet another bunch of like other, like, not children, but like other like
Children?
what teenagers like my age at that point. I'd say 17 is still quite young, so
Yeah.
like I was gonna meet other people my age, and then no one was my age, and they're all old and the middle fucking aged. Like, and I'm like, what the hell am I gonna do? Like, I'm never gonna get along with any one of these people.
One person was really old, and I was like, what are you doing here?
Oh, I don't even know. Oh, real.
Yeah.
But like, there was two classes, and I feel like they completely they put so much thought into the other class, and we just got chucked.
Oh
in
my
anyway.
god, yeah, there was a class A and a class B.
Yeah, we were definitely B. Genuinely.
Were we B? Yeah, we were B, but there was so much drama in the other class. But that other class, like, I feel like they did get a lot of tender love and care.
Yeah, literally. They got the TLC. We literally just got like FML'd, like, straight up. Like, honestly, like, I'm not gonna lie. Like, see, after that, I was mortified. Like, genuinely, I was like no hate on that whole place. Like, but
No, big hate to that whole place. Big hate from me.
big hate from my therapist and my bank account
No,
after having to
actually.
pay for fucking, yeah, genuinely having to gain my confidence back. Like, it did tear me down a wee bit. But I feel like it's just whatever type of person you are, like, you really need to be mentally ready for something like that, like, totally. But I wouldn't even say that, like, I've seen mentally prepared people going into that and coming out and being like, wow, like, I cannot believe that's happened, you know, shit like that. So I suppose, like, you get that with, like, every college course, but I feel like acting's one of the worst because you need confidence to do it, and you always need to have a brave face for it, and it's the kind of one where it's like, leave all your problems at the door. And obviously, being a 17-year-old who was, like, struggling, like, a lot, that was impossible for me, like, literally impossible for me.
Yeah.
But yeah, so what was your audition experience? How did you find it?
My audition experience was, I mean, to be fair, I was quite cool about it because I was only kind of doing it to meet people that were the same age as me and that were like into the same things, because I'd been on sets and everybody, like, you become best friends with people and then you just like never really talk to them again, and most of the time they were always older than me. So I was like excited to go, because I never went to drama school or anything like that, So I was excited to go and like meet people that were the same age as me and like kind of the same as me and stuff. So I wasn't really putting too much pressure on it. I was like, if I get it, I get it. If I don't, I don't. And that's why I showed up with no Shakespeare and something from like a movie. So yeah, but I mean, it was all right. The person that I had for my audition was one of the teachers that I ended up having like beef with. And the first time that I met her, I was like, she's not going to let me in. Because I just feel like we just did not click from like that one thing. So maybe the other teacher like really rooted for me or something, I don't know.
Speaking of like the lecturers and stuff like that, like I feel like a lot of them had their own like kind of personal stuff going on, and it kind of like rubbed off in the class a lot.
Big
like,
time.
Yeah, like it really like I was like I don't know, I feel like for lecturers I've only kind of came across that a lot of like stable ones and stuff like that like in the past, like I've like, you know, and that it was just like it was a lot of gossip in that was going about, like you would hear so much stuff about them and that, and like you would just find out so much stuff and you wouldn't even need to try, like you would just be going in there for a college day and you would end up leaving knowing like everything about their backstories, their lives and all that. Like I just feel like that was too much. Like there needed to be like a kind of like a level there where it was like they kind of like
they had to keep us at like an arm's length.
Yeah.
They should have, but they didn't.
Yeah, they did not.
They let us into their personal lives way too much. Yeah. Like, one woman was talking about her daughters, the other one was talking about, like, his girlfriend. Like, they just let us into their personal lives too much. And I mean, especially for you being so young, I feel like.
Yeah, I was, like, 17 finding out all this stuff, and I just turned 17 too. That was the crazy part. Like, I'd literally, like freshly out the womb, and I'm finding out all this stuff. Like Jenny had like no life experience, not gonna lie, like, and obviously like undiagnosed autism was just a mess. Like it was just a shambles. Like I was dealing with a lot of stuff back then too, and it was horrible because it was like they all seemed to be struggling with their lives and that, and then still kind of putting it on us. But it was like anytime we would show signs of struggling or that was a sign of like severe weakness, and then they would really like shit on you for that. Like and that was really like, I don't know, I just kind of want to spread awareness for people that like, please, if you're struggling, if when you're going through college or like stuff like that, reach out to someone or like get a therapist like as soon as you can, or like, you know, just get help immediately, because you still want that. You don't want that whole experience to like let down a grade or like a what do you call it when you get something from college, like that. Not an award, but like
get your qualification.
Yeah, get your qualification. Literally a qualification. I wouldn't know because I don't have one. But
dropouts.
Literally. Yeah, we didn't make it very far.
No, definitely. I felt like that college made me feel like I was going crazy.
No,
like it because I went through something we'll speak about earlier, and I felt like that college just was making me go, because everybody was gaslighting me into thinking that I shouldn't have had feelings when acting is all about feelings.
Yeah, totally.
You just had to go in there as like a complete robot.
Yeah, which was kind of scary because like I'm quite an open person, like I'm quite open to share a lot of things and that, so when I meet people I just spill my guts.
You should start a podcast.
You're so right. I feel like I would be really good at that, because I genuinely am open about everything. I tell anyone anything about me, and that's kind of like, again at that age I was really vulnerable, and I feel like if I could regret anything else, it would be like play more of like a like have a safety net or like a plan B, like maybe not just be as open and emotional as I was.
You know what you needed that for?
Emotional recall.
No,
literally. So we did something called emotional recall. This was straight up one of the first kind of things as well as a group that we done together, so it was quite early on that we did this.
Very early on, we barely even knew each other.
Yeah, you're right, yeah, because it was like one of the first kind of months in it, right? Yeah, so it wasn't even that, we weren't that deep into this, like we weren't like holding hands and singing Kumbaya, you know what I mean? Like I barely could know I could barely even know my own name, let alone half the class. And then they're like, so today we're gonna like, we want you to get so deep and emotional and vulnerable and tell us your worst thing. And I'm sitting there like glued to it, being like, okay, like thinking like all these bad experiences that have ever happened in my life to like be open about, and I'm like, wow, okay, I need to just, you know, like just put it on the table.
Yeah, so we had to do this. It was like we each got pieces of paper, and there was a wee hat in the middle of the room,
really professional,
middle of the back rooms, and we got a wee piece of paper, and we had to write down something that was like our worst kind of memory, like something that would basically make us cry, so that we could think about it and cry on cue.
Yeah.
When a really, really small percent of actors do that to cry on cue, because it messes up with your like mental health and stuff like that. Do you know what I mean? And obviously you took it really seriously.
Yeah, no, but see, the thing that really wound me up as well was like I had no option to rub it out. There was no like eraser on the end of that pencil. It was in pen and paper, straight in the hat. And then the worst things worse, you didn't even get to tell your own story. But it was like, pick a name out the hat. It was like somebody was winning like something, and we're all taking names out the hat, right? And I'm shitting it, like low key, like I'm terrified. This
It was the way that it, like the first person, somebody opened theirs up and it was like, oh, my mum's really cheeky, or no, my sister's really cheeky to my mum. And I was just like,
that's when I knew I'd fucked up.
Yeah.
That was when I knew. I was like, wait. And I just thought maybe fluke, right? Maybe they've had a great life, and then someone else is someone's about to tell us the most hard hitting emotional stuff ever.
But no. It literally was just sunshine and rainbows. And mine at the start, I was like, I cannot think of anything. And also, I was like, I think that they're going to use this against us.
Maybe me. I didn't think that. I was just in a safe place. That's what I thought. Like,
yeah. No, I made mine up. And I was like, right, I'm going to just like make it up, and then I'm going to give a performance, and then at the end I'm going to be like, haha, fooled you.
Yeah, well, good for you. Like, thanks for letting us know. Like, I didn't get the memo to make it up. I literally was just like balls deep in my deep trauma, and straight up it went to hell. And I'm pretty sure I was one of the last people someone to read out mine. So as soon as I got to me,
you were the last.
I'm literally like this. And like some of the other stories are making everyone else cry in that, and I'm like,
yeah, but it wasn't
what?
even cry material. Like it was not deep at all. Like, what was one that was making people cry? Well, even like the one where she was like, oh, like my like sister makes my mom like upset because she's really cheeky to my mom, and everybody's like, oh no, like that poor girl has to go through that. And I was like, what was like another one that people were genuinely like getting teary about?
That day I blacked out. That was it for me. Like, I remember sitting in the car on the way home being like, what have I just done?
Really?
Yeah, because I was social suicide. Genuinely social suicide in that room. Like, if you're going to make any friends, what not to do is do what I did, straight up, because everyone thought I was fucking nuts. Like, genuinely, everyone thought I was like mental asylum nuts, because they were just like, no, saying like, one of them was like, that they didn't feel like they were like wearing a mask, and like they weren't like the same person. Yeah. And I was like, that's crazy. Yeah. But no one's gonna give a fuck that he's just said that. Mm-hmm. After that you hear mine. So yeah, I completely got mugged off, like absolutely mugged off. I was like, oh my god, man, like I was like, I have well and truly screwed this up. Because
yours was one of the last. Definitely. or the last.
I don't remember if it was the last, but it was definitely one of the last ones. And I just remember sitting there waiting for it to just happen, waiting for it. Because I, like, honestly, see if it was first, I maybe would have took it a bit better, but considering it was last, I could hear everyone else just talk about theirs. And I was just like, oh my god. And then after yours got read out, you have to talk about it yourself. Mm-hmm. And at that point, I was just like, well, here we go, I might as well just go ham. And I just had to explain, like, at that point, I didn't think to make anything up, because, well, what I said in mine, I didn't really have anything to make up. It was just point blank period what had happened. Yeah. So I was like trying to explain myself, and everyone else was sat there like, wait, what?
Everyone was sat like, oh my god.
Yeah, literally. And I was like, well, yeah, I'm the youngest in the class and clearly the most vulnerable here. Like, sorry that I went through all that. Like, and everyone, I was like, for y'all to seriously that be the emotional like thing. Like, fair enough. Like, I'm not putting anyone down. Like, if that really affected them, like, fair enough. But come on.
Yeah.
Like, I was mortified. Like, personally, I was mortified.
Yeah.
No coming back from that.
No, I felt so bad for you. And then it wasn't even like, nobody even comforted you about you or anything. It was literally just silence.
Deadpan silence.
And the most like what's that called? Like a really thick atmosphere. Do you know what I mean? Like,
yeah, you could cut it with a knife.
Yeah, you could cut it with a knife. Like, it was actually so bad.
So tense, and just felt awkward, and it was just awful. Like, I felt really like, I just felt awful, like slimy after that. It was just so bad.
And then we all just got our bags and went home.
Yeah, literally, that was the craziest thing ever, right? I'm pretty sure whoever was last, I really might have been me, but they got cut short because they were like, the class is finished, and we went over the class that time. Mm-hmm. So like, because we were talking so much that we ran over time, and then that was it. We just were like, okay guys, end of the day, like, grab your stuff. And I was like, really? Like, I've just opened up, and then that's it. Everyone's just gonna stare at each other, shed a few tears, and then that's us. Like, I was mortified. I was like, no way, man. Like, no chance.
And also they did use it against us.
They ended up using it against us.
They did end up using it against us because it was like another girl, and they ended up using hers against her.
Yeah.
In a different class, so the teachers was obviously like speaking about everything that we said in that one teacher's class.
Yeah, which is crazy. I just feel like that was another thing that was crazy. Like, all the lecturers and all that were, like, severely close to each other. Like, they were all, like, friends. Some of them.
Maybe a bit more.
But, like, that's what I mean. Like, we found all that out, and I just feel like that was unnecessary to find out about them, you know? Like, that was wild, you know?
Yeah.
Like, I didn't want to know about that. I just wanted my qualification, and that was it, you know? Like, I really thought, like, I have a chance to do this. But, like, when I thought about it, I was like, who actually is, like, came out of this and, like, has a name for themselves or is actually doing good for themselves? And they would name off all these people and you would be like, never heard of them, never heard of them.
No.
Never heard of them either. Not saying that I wanted to do, like, to become, like, mad famous, like, you know, like, crazy A-list celebrity, but, like, I wanted to get into a good...
I wanted to have a job.
Yeah.
A job, point blank period. And I remember when they sat us down and spoke about jobs, they were like, oh yeah, like, you'll have opportunities to be, like, street performers, like, fish... on the street.
I remember them said that, and then they showed us videos and pictures from the last time they done that, and I was like,
it's like, no.
I was like, I'm sorry, but this is not what I signed up for. It was like literally humiliation instead of like learning.
I'm sure like Leonardo DiCaprio started doing that.
No, literally, like they must have done, because if not, then how did they make it without acting like street fish? I mean, fair, each to their own, but yeah, wouldn't it be me? Glad we didn't get to that stage, because I would have been mortified.
And they were also like, so I'd been on sets before I even went to that college, and I think I was the only person that had.
Yeah, I'd done hee-haw, to be fair.
Everybody else was like theatre.
Yeah.
And they were explaining about how it is on a set, and then I probably could be wrong, but allegedly, I don't think that any of the teachers or anything like that had been on like an actual big set. They were all quite theatre based as well.
Yeah, totally.
And they were like explaining how it was on a set, and I was just like, it's not. Like they were saying it was like they were like, oh, it's so strict and this, that, and the next thing, and I'm like, it's literally not. Like the way that they were explaining it, it was just like, and then that was when I kind of realised, and that was at the start, I was like, yous are liars, you know.
Yeah, but yeah. Like, to be fair, it was all new to me. I'd never done like anything on camera or that. So when we were doing those types of classes and that, like, it was
camera.
It was all new to me. Like, I'd never done that before.
See that teacher, what was it called? Camera? Was that what it was called?
Yeah.
It was, no, that was so good. Like, he was the best teacher ever. I loved him.
He was really nice. Like, he was like, dare I say, he was the one that auditioned me.
Was he?
And he had me, like, I don't know. He was like my favourite one. He was great.
He was
liked him.
everyone's favourite because he
Totally.
actually was so nice to us, and he also like treated us like human beings. You know what I mean?
Like, he had that kind of, you felt like that emotion from him, you know, like he actually treated us like not like a robot and not like little minions that he was trying to train up. He genuinely was worried about us and genuinely seemed concerned, and I really appreciated that from someone. Like, he kind of had that emotional vulnerability that like you just needed to have to connect to, like, you know.
He wasn't just so hard on us, and he wasn't expecting anything out of us that we couldn't deliver. Do you know what I mean?
Totally. Yeah, but he was really good. And
shout out to him. I hope he's doing amazing.
Yeah, I actually hope he's doing so well. Hope he's found I hope he's a fucking famous director now.
Yeah.
Dead ass, he deserves it, because that was hard. Directing that class to do anything on camera, especially me. God bless that man, honestly. But yeah.
Yeah, who's another teacher? What about movement?
Yeah, we got told that we were going to do that, but we didn't really get told that at the start. That's one thing that I remember hearing about and me asking about, because at the start I didn't do dancing. I was like really nervous. I didn't do much like that, and so when we got thrown into doing full fucking like sports routines,
yeah,
it was like drop down, do 10 burpees. I was like, brother, give me a script.
But
Like, no, literally, like, I was actually like, what are we doing right now? Like, what have you got me doing? Like, I was so unfit, like, genuinely, like, was just like, I like probably like hungover from the night before. Like, what else was a 17 wait,
hungover from fruit juice,
literally. So it was just so cliquey, like that class especially.
So cliquey. Like,
literally, and it was like once you came out that class, I just never felt good enough. Like, I'd always feel like underaccomplished, or like and like for me, I need a lot of motivation. Like, I need a lot of like somebody to just kind of cheer me on and kind of like wish me well, you know, and kind of want the best out of me.
Wouldn't get that at that college.
But you just wouldn't. It was like, you needed to do that on your own, like, straight up. I mean, fair enough in the second or third year, like, doing that, but, like, see, in the first year, you kind of need a lot of, like, kind of, like, reassurance, and you got, like, no reassurance on that at all. Genuinely, it was horrible. It was, like, see if you didn't want to, like, put your full effort into it, and, like, you know, which is hard. It's hard when you just start somewhere new, and you're meeting new people and stuff like that. Like, a lot of people were kind of, like, just, I struggled with that one especially. That class was awful. I hated it. Like, I genuinely would be like, I don't want to show up. I remember not going to a lot of those classes.
That was the class I went to least.
Oh, totally. And I feel like that needs to be, like, registered. Like, I feel like people need to understand why people weren't showing up to that class. It wasn't out of just sheer laziness. It was just out of feeling not good enough. It was a military, like, lineup. And, like...
Military?
It was like the military. It genuinely was. It was like if you're shit, like... You're dead, bro.
Oh well.
Like, you're dead. Like, you're not making it in this business if you can't do 5 burpees and then do 10 sit-ups and then do another 5 press-ups and then do 5 triple backflips. Like, what? You know what I mean? Like, and then it's like the ones where you have to, like, stand in a line and act like an animal. Like, I could do that. I'm pure giving it my all.
No.
Mortifying, but I'm doing it.
No, because do you remember that? And everybody was being, like, so sultry with it, and then I went like that and I was a crab. Do you know? I went down the line like a crab.
Everyone else was like kind of like adding their kind of humanly kind of like you know mannerisms,
and I just didn't get it at all because it was supposed to be like some people act like snaky and quite sneaky and people were walking down like that. Some people are crab. I really just served crab.
Which was kind of the point, you know. I feel like you can't really go wrong with that.
And she was looking at me like, "What are you doing?" And I was like, "I'm being a crab."
Yeah, on God. Everyone knew you were a crab. Like, you know, like no one was questioning that. They were like, crab.
Crab!
Know? Straight up crab. Straight up folks snaking, like, on the floor and that, getting low and, like, stuff like that. I felt like a bird was a good one. Easy. Just wings, man.
Were you a bird?
Well, I had to be a bird, 110. I'm pretty sure I had done eagle or something like that. Or just, and it was, like, not zoo animals. It was, like, kind of tropical animals and shit like that. I was like, my geography, like, did we need geography for this shit? Because I don't know what animal came from where. Like, on God, like,
the crabs
just say
of
zoo
Brazil.
animals, like zoo animals that you see in Edinburgh. You know what I mean? Like, straight up, because I can't do this. Penguin would have been a solid one.
Penguin would have been a really good one actually, because some people walk like penguins.
Me, real. But no, I literally, that class ruined me. It really broke me down. And that was kind of when I realised I was like, oh no, like, I'm not surviving this at all. Like, mentally, I can't do it. Like, physically, I could have put myself through it, but I came out the other, like, I honestly didn't even survive a full year there, and I came out mentally just shredded. Like, I was unwell for so long after that. I just had to, like, bring myself up, like, from that. Like, it was horrible. Oh, yeah.
Do you remember when they put us out in the cold?
Yeah, when they took us outside
but they told us to take off all of our, like, jackets and jumpers and everything.
Yeah, and we just went out and, like, most of us were wearing, like, leggings or something. Like,
leggings, like, and, like, a tank top. And we actually went, like, a full-on walk to, like, some park. Do you remember that?
Yeah, we got to go in the park, though.
Yeah, well...
Yeah,
taking the kids to the park.
Yeah, we got to go on the activities, I'm pretty sure. Like, they let us go on.
Oh, they're so nice.
No, I swear, that's what they did. And I was just
I
confused.
remember.
I was like, what is this, like, golden time? Like, is this, like, the free time? Like, is this our reward?
That's what we done at the mental asylum.
Literally, like, they let us out during the day, and then we had a curfew to get back in.
No, but that, taking us out in the cold, I actually cannot remember what the purpose of it was.
I don't either, actually. Do you know what? I don't know what the purpose was either, straight up. I genuinely do not know why they did that or what possessed them to go, yeah, you know what? Take your jackets off. We're going out in the cold. Genuinely. And then we're going to the park.
We're going to the park?
I mean, fair enough, but I was just a bit like, what the hell?
And then, like, one of the teachers' nipples was out. And remember, she was, like, saying to the boys, she was like, oh, my nipples, you can see my nipples. Do you remember that?
No. What? Is that allowed?
No.
Like, that's surely not allowed. This is what I mean, though. Like, what? Where was the professionalism in half the stuff that they were saying? Like, not gonna lie, like, obviously from me, like, being a student, I was a bit, like, mental too, but, like...
But they're teachers.
They're literally lecturers. Like, they get paid to be professional, you know. And the whole dream they sold us was about how professional it would be and how the professionalism here and all that was going to be so, like, up to scratch. Honestly, do not know what I thought, like, was going to happen. I don't know what I was expecting either. We were really sold a dream.
We really were. We were all sold a dream, and that's why a lot of us dropped out.
Yeah, a lot. Genuinely.
Us included, yeah.
Yeah, I dropped out.
There was so many. Did you drop out after me?
Yeah, I think I was like the last to go. Like one of the last ones to go. Because I was like,
Aleah was the last one to go. Yeah. Like the virgin suicide.
Last man standing, I was like, I was literally like, peace. You know that meme where it's like peace and it just dissolves? That was literally me. Literally, I was the last one there, and that was me gone. Straight up. Like, I could not handle it anymore. Because I was like, well, half all the people that I talked to is gone. The rest of them don't like me.
Yeah.
And I've literally been told how much shit I've been chatted about me behind my back. So I was like, you know what? Like, I'm out of here. Straight up. I could not do it anymore. I could not take it. Especially the fucking getting there too for me, because I had to travel fucking ages. Yeah. Everyone else was like, yeah, just like live so near to it, and I'm like, good for fucking you.
Yeah, I used to go after the gym, and I would be there at the same time.
And I remember walking in and seeing you and be like, and you would be like in your little gym thing just kicking about, and I'd be like, where you been this morning? You'd be like, oh well, I've had breakfast and been to the gym, you know, woke up really early, and I was like literally like I had like last night's makeup still on my face, and I was like, what? And she's like in her gym gear, like just cruising about, like looks like she's just done a full Pilates routine before coming in. I'm like, what do you mean the gym? Like, brother, I've still got sleep in my eyes, and you're fucking just been to the gym.
That's how I would learn my lines though. Like, I would go on the treadmill and say it.
Learning your lines for that shit was impossible for me.
I know,
like, I've done a lot of good shows and stuff like that. Well, say good shows, I mean like, you know, like amateur theatre stuff, and like I've managed to learn my lines, but I genuinely feel like when you're not in the right mindset to like learn stuff, you just can't. Like, because I was honestly having a breakdown for learning all these monologues for all these different classes and stuff like that. It was hard going.
So many monologues for no reason as well.
I know. I thought there would be more than just monologues, but it was kind of like primarily monologues. And then the shows that we did too were just absolutely abysmal.
Oh, the show. Do you want to speak about the show?
If that's a genuine question, absolutely no. But I know we're gonna have to. Because, well, good for fucking you. You were on team well done. You were on team because we got split into teams in our class.
Yeah.
And you were on the good side.
There was the team. So we'd came up with like this concept of a show about time.
Yeah.
And it was like a reality TV show, but during the reality TV show there was adverts. So we got split up from the adverts and then the reality TV show.
And maybe me, I'm like, yeah, like I'll go outside the box again. I'll do the kind of out there thing. I'll do the reality TV show side of it. Fuck me. If I could give anyone advice in that thing, is literally do not think outside the box. Stick to the basics. Do the easiest thing you can do and just get it done. Genuinely, like just put all your effort. Like do say like a task that's like say level 5 out of 10, and then just put your 110% into it and just do really good at that. Because see if you start thinking outside the box and you don't live up to expectation, it is the worst feeling ever. Like you feel really shit, and it took me years to just recover from like just feeling not good enough.
Yeah,
you know. And it was hard. It was just kind of like a lot of pressure was put on you and stuff like that. And again, at the start, they did kind of warn me, and they were like, you know, a lot of pressure is going to be put on you, you know, if you can't do this. But they didn't say, like, that was the point. Like, they didn't put that out there. They kind of made it seem like the essays and shit like that. And I was getting, like, A's and B's in most of my essays that I was writing. And I didn't even have the higher English. It was more the mental strain that, like, the shows and that were putting on you. Because obviously we had to write this show ourselves and come up with it ourselves.
Yeah, that was like the thing. We got split up into the groups, and then we had to, like, the adverts team were writing the adverts, and then the TV show team were writing like the TV show, and the adverts actually done so well, and it was so much fun to be a part of.
Yeah, I know. I've never had so much just like complete jealousy and envy, because I chose, again, me being me. Someone had to back out because they had another show to do, and I ended up being like, I'll do it, I'll do that part, and I genuinely, Jesus Christ, it was a Bible.
It was the hardest part because it was the narrator of the whole thing, and you had to be like completely off book because you had to walk about with a microphone. And I remember suggesting to the teacher that we were doing it with, oh, can she have cue cards?
Yeah. And they were like, well, we're already kind of really behind, like we can't just hover to have cue cards. And I was like, well, you know what, I'm gonna bomb this. Just a pre-warning, guys, I'm fucked. Like, I'm snookered. So yous are gonna need to pull through. And it was honestly so mentally draining. And then like I missed out one of the girls' parts in it, and I remember genuinely never living that down. Like, I'd already bombed my performance, and at the end of it, I'm getting scolded by about fucking 4 lassies in the class, being like, she's crying because you forgot her bit, and it was literally like 3 fucking lines, and I'm like, are you actually having a laugh? I've missed out about 15 pages of my lines, and you're crying about 3. I was like, I'm really trying here, like, I am trying my best, and in the end, I was reading off something, like, I did have something to read off of, because it was that bad, but like,
Were you not like backstage?
Yeah, I had to be backstage for a lot of it too. And I mean, you came through and you would see me, and everyone was watching me, and I just looked like I wanted to die. Like, genuinely, I was like,
you look so depressed.
My neck on those lights are looking pretty likely. Genuinely, like, honestly, it was so draining. And obviously, being for a class that are like, they're all up, like, not up themselves, but they all thought they were better than everyone else in that class. Because like, no, everyone had an ego. Like, you had to have an ego. They were teaching you to have an ego and think you were better than everyone else. And
they were also speaking about everyone behind their backs to everyone. And I remember you telling me, you were like, oh yeah, like, this teacher's been speaking about you behind your back. And I was like, huh?
Yeah, literally, like, they would just say stuff like when you weren't there. I got told a lot that it was about me not being there a lot of the time, my attendance and stuff like that. Happened to me a lot. They would just like bring up the fact that me, and then other students would be bitching to the teachers about you. And during the class, and then you would find out because someone else would tell you. It'd be always to be quiet members that would be like, oh yeah, they brought that up, and they would be like, what? You know what I mean? You always just had to ask the people that were just kind of sitting back, because they would just genuinely tell you, like, out front, like, outright, like, about what happened. But yeah, I mean, fair enough about the attendance and stuff like that, but again, like, see when, like, a student's not attending a lot and they clearly have a lot going on, would you rather kind of get to the nip it in the bud and get to the main root of the problem, or just shit on them even more and make them feel even worse? Do you know what I mean? Because I feel like that was one thing that happened.
It was the brainwashing for me. I went into a meeting and I was like, I'm leaving. Had this whole situation, and then you went into a meeting right after me. I came out raging. You went in, you were like, yeah, I hate this place, I'm leaving too. You went in, you came out, you were like, this place is amazing.
No, literally.
I was like, what did they give her? I want some.
No, literally, like, it was, I was brainwashed. I was easily led, you know.
You were so young though.
Yeah, and I kind of cut myself slack for it now, but back, like, sometimes I look back and I'm like, wow, I was so naive. But I think that's what they kind of liked about me, because it was easy to kind of, like, mould me into, like, what they needed. I mean, fair enough, it's a hard industry, but it could have done without a lot of, you know, the things that kind of happened and that. And it was they kind of made you to believe, like, if you can't handle this, you won't be able to handle it in the industry. You know what I mean? And that's kind of, like, what was really off-putting. They could have said, like, if you can't handle it here, you can go elsewhere and you can try. But it was like, if you don't do this, you're not making it in the industry. Point blank, period.
Yeah, they really emphasised that. They were like, if you can't do this, then how are you ever going to handle it out there in the real world? I was like, this is 10 times worse.
Yeah, personally, I thought that too. Like, I've been through so many shows and stuff like that. Like, good shows, like, that I'd done, and, like, I'd put on a good performance, and I mean, you'd get nervous, and sorry, am I, like, making a lot of noise? Sorry. So, I just feel like I'd done a lot of shows in the past, and, like, put on a good performance, and, like, tried really hard, and, like, I mean, I was stressed, but I was never that stressed. Like, I was never, like, and even handing in the essays and stuff like that, I was still managing to hand them on time, and they were, like, I would get the kind of, like, what do you call it, when you hand in an essay and they sit you down and you talk about it and they show you, like, what grade you got and stuff like that, and I would get told that I'm doing really well and that, but it was just, like, the kind of emotional vulnerability side of things I was struggling with, like, a lot. Like, it was just, like, I was too naive to handle this, you know, like, everything they said about me I'd take, not personally, but I'd take it on board, and I'd be constantly trying so hard that I would really get to you. Like, it would really just, like, you had to have, like, a severely, like, thick skin to get through the first year, and that should be the easiest year.
I think I did have quite a thick skin, until my granddad passed away. So yeah, my granddad died, like, during the year that I was there, and I did have such a thick skin until that, because I was really close with him. And it was when we were doing the show, and I was showing up to the rehearsals, and I was doing everything, but then when everybody else had their lines, or when it was the TV show, I was kind of just, like, hiding away and, like, just hood over my head, just kind of keeping myself to myself, and they were making me feel so bad because of that. And everybody was like, you're not yourself, like, where's Jessica and all this, and I was like, I don't know.
But I don't know, where could she be?
Where could she be?
It's not like she's just lost her granddad. Like, what? Like, that was one thing I couldn't get behind. It was just like you slip up, like, you do one thing wrong, or you come in one day not like acting 100% yourself, and they're gonna like really look into that.
Oh yeah.
Like it's a big thing about, again, acting. You need to leave it. That was a big thing they said. Like, you need to leave it at the door and come in. But that's kind of hard sometimes. You know, like, you can't just do that every day. Like, and especially when you're in there all the time. It was hardcore.
I also think they were like, well, they didn't really like me, but like I think that they were trying to like play some mind games with me, because I remember R.I.P. your hamster.
Oh my god.
Aleah's hamster passed away.
Yeah.
And I came in. Literally, this was after everybody had given me a hard time about not being 100% myself because my granddad's passed away, and everybody was around you, comforting you and being like, "Oh, I'm so sorry." Was it Peep?
Yeah.
Yeah, they were like, "Rest in peace, Peep," and I was like, "Sorry." Like, sorry? They're like, "Do you need a couple days off, Aleah?"
But honestly, I appreciate it, guys. Thanks so much for the R.I.P. Peep. I really appreciate that one. Like, genuinely, hand on heart, thanks for that one.
R.I.P. Peep.
R.I.P. Peep, you're so right. Because that was really a hard time for me. Like, I was really going through it. Like, don't know about you, girl, but I was fucking lost.
I couldn't imagine losing a hamster.
Ruined my life, man. That was it. That was kind of when my hook, line, and sinker, that's when I started just going downhill from there on in, like.
So probably one of the big reasons that the teachers didn't like me is because at the time the trendy thing was to have a Finsta, and one of the other girls in the class had one, and I became close with her because the girl that I was closest to had dropped out, another one off the boat, and she had a Finsta, and I was like, this is so fun, like you can just like write down like everything that's on your mind. And I was like, I'm gonna get one. I followed everyone in the class, everybody followed me back. I was like, right, this is great, like we can just like talk on here, I can share funny pictures, and everybody was loving it.
And you dragging me in too. Like, I didn't care. Like, I genuinely was the baby of the class. And then there was one meme that she posts tagging me. It's like, it was literally a video of like a mum and a dad with a baby wearing the baby, like, you know that baby thing with the baby, and you put your name, someone else in the class's name, and then my fucking name on it as the baby. And then I got brought up into it, and they're like, yeah, you're seem to be tagged in it, like you're in it. And I was like, what have I said? She's tagged me as the baby, like literally da baby. And then she's
da
like,
baby.
Literally, I was just da baby, like straight up. And she's like, and I'm like, what do you want me to say? Like, I'm not slagging. I'm not a part of this. You tag me, and I'm actually dragged into this. Like, I'm sat down and they're talking to me like, well, your name was mentioned.
You're the baby.
Like, you're the baby, so you're taking half the blame. And I'm like, great, thanks guys, appreciate it. Like, genuinely was like, okay, no bother.
No, so
what?
So I started like speaking about the teachers on it because everybody was speaking about them. I just made the mistake of having a paper trail.
Complete rookie mistake. Like,
yeah.
Honestly, like.
And to be honest, right, I did say quite mean things, but like at the start it was just kind of like funny.
But who hasn't said bad things about the lecturer?
Yeah.
I've heard worse. People genuinely come out of college cursing them out. Mm-hmm. Genuinely. And I feel like posting it on a Finsta or something that was private and meant to kind of be, you know, not.
It was for the group to like laugh at together.
Because everyone had the same opinions on everyone.
They just wouldn't voice it.
Yeah, because they all just wanted to arse lick so they would get into the next year. Mm-hmm. And that's when I realised this is so fucking bad, because everyone was arse licking and everyone was just sucking up the lecturers, like whoever the favourite lecturer was, they were just kissing their ass just so they would get into the next year. Mm-hmm. And it worked. They all got in, and like all the other people that weren't kissing ass, they didn't get in. Which is so fair. Should have kissed ass, honestly. That's moral of the story. Kiss your lecturer's ass if you want your degree.
Just kiss ass.
Just do it.
But yeah. I was just speaking about, you know, stuff that like was upsetting me about the whole situation, and I remember one time I had a kidney infection. Have you ever had a kidney infection?
No, I can't say I have.
It just makes you pee a lot. That's literally, and your kidneys are sore, and I'm quite prone to them, so I was was like, can I go pee? Can I go pee? And she was like, how dare you interrupt my lesson? Like, and then when I went to go pee, that was when she was speaking about me. And then I went on the Finsta and I was like, I'm so sad because I'm not allowed to go pee and she's speaking about me behind my back. And that's what got brought up. I also said they were washed up actors, which they are.
I mean, like, I just...
No, the Finsta situation, it was just meant to be funny. It was just meant to be a laugh and just kind of voice my opinions the way everybody else was. But then it got printed off.
Did the baby one get printed off?
The baby one got printed off.
See what I mean? Like, what the hell? You see, if you knew what this video was, like, and that's the professionalism of this. I'm getting dragged in it because, and your name's tagged on it. On the bit. How is that me? See if it was a picture of me, fine. A random baby in a baby suit, like the mum is holding the baby or the dad's holding the baby, and they're dancing like this, like literally like this, and I'm the baby. The baby can't speak, you know. The baby had no opinion in it. Yeah, I'm getting dragged in. Like, what the hell?
Yeah.
And they even had a baby picture of you that you put up.
Oh my
off
god,
too.
no.
I remember you saying that, and I was like, surely that's illegal. Like, that cannot be legal.
Because it was a literal baby picture of me that I'd posted on my Finsta with like a caption being like, this teacher's speaking badly about my friend, like how can you speak badly about her when blah blah blah. Like I was just voicing my opinion again. It's a picture of me as a baby. It's printed out in front of me at the meeting, at this official meeting that I'm supposed to take seriously, and there's a picture of me as a baby going like that.
Literally. And so when I heard that, I was like, right, so how are we meant to take this seriously now? Like, this is just genuinely crazy. But it's crazy because, like, they were all bitching about us behind our backs, but, like, anytime we would say anything bad about them, which I feel like is a normal thing to do, like,
yeah.
Sorry, I'm, like, moving again. But, like, it's like, you think it's a normal thing to do until, like, everyone said something bad about their lecturers, you know? Mm-hmm. Even if you're having a bad day, that's what you do. But they're lecturers, they can't take it to heart but since they were putting so much of their own personality into it, they were taking it so personally because it was just them. And I feel like as a teacher or a lecturer, you kind of need to put on not a persona, but just like, you know, kind of like hold off being so emotional about it and taking it to heart. Like, that was one thing that I just didn't really agree with. I mean, fair enough, like, some of the stuff might have been hurtful, but like, half the shit they were probably saying behind our backs was even more hurtful, especially since we were their students. Like, we were there to make their record look good. Mm-hmm. And as soon as we started dropping out, clearly, like, they were losing numbers and they were starting to genuinely, like, clutch at straws.
Yeah, and then that's when we started having, like, all the meetings and stuff like that. I remember I had a meeting where they were like, how can we move on from this? And I started just, like, arguing with the lecturer just because... I mean, I don't really care who you are. If you don't have respect for me, I'm not really gonna have respect for you, you know?
Yeah, I think that's a big thing too. It's like you don't just need to, like, respect, like, because they have the authority over you, like, stuff like that. Like, you kind of need to give us a good reason to, like, respect you, especially since you're all, like, adults as well. See, if it was a primary school or, like, a high school, fair enough, like, but come on, like, it's college. And at the start, they were like, oh, yeah, we want us, you feel kind of like, we've got a friendship going, you know, like, that type of vibe, and it didn't work either. Like, it was just, like, nothing was working with us. Like, it was awful. Like, genuinely, like, I would go and say, like, the experience was awful.
Moral of the story, don't have a Finsta.
Yeah, genuinely.
Just don't.
Yeah.
That's the baby.
I was the baby.
That is the baby. Show the camera. That is the baby.
I will never get over that. Look at the baby. I was tagged as the baby.
That's the baby. That's her.
That's what I got dragged into for because you tagged me in a post. I was like, what do you want me to do? Everyone else follows it.
Yeah.
But yeah, apparently I was bad for being tagged as a random baby on that. I was like, great, thanks for that.
And also, other people in the class had Finstas.
Yeah.
They just didn't get brought up. And I wasn't going to be the snake that brought it up. And I remember we went to one of the girls that we were, like, I'd say quite close with. And we were like, oh my God, someone's, like, showed the teacher, like, our Finstas. Because the other girl that had a Finsta that wasn't liked as, like, the other people, we brought it up to that girl. And we were like, oh my God, someone's, like, brought our Finstas to the teachers, and she was like, no way, why would somebody do that? I was like, wow, best performance of the year. No, honestly,
you know, that's the best acting we've seen this whole fucking performance class, like,
yeah,
genuinely.
Where do you think everybody is now?
Well, for starters, I haven't seen anybody in any movies or that, so
That's true.
clearly not the actors that anyone was expecting to become. I also don't think anyone's actually sticking in acting apart from a couple of them who are further in their education in acting.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, kudos to them. Like, you know, like if they want to go ahead and they manage to get through that, then hats off to them, genuinely. If anyone got a degree or that, they had to be really like thick-skinned or on top of that class, genuinely like doing all the work.
Or like the favourites.
Yeah. If they were favourites, then fair enough. Like,
I think it was only like 2 people out of our class that actually completed like their
whole BA
thing.
Yeah.
Because the most, in my opinion, like the most talented person out of the whole class literally like moved to a different country and is like studying acting in a different country.
Yeah. Agree. Yeah. Totally.
So kudos to him. I really hope he's doing well because he was actually...
You kind of knew that he was going to go into theatre or something like that. Just from me, like he had the personality completely, like everything about him was just so acting orientated. You know, like everything, like he really came from like a good a good theatre kind of background and that, like you knew, like he was kind of one of those ones where you meet them and you just get that vibe, you know, like genuinely, like I just knew that he was going to go far from the start. You kind of like someone you root for, you know.
Yeah, 100%.
Sorry guys, we just had to change the camera there for a second because the other one's battery just died on us. Sorry, my life. Like, so yeah, that's why the camera's completely different. But yeah, where were we?
Just about the success of people that we went to college with. I mean, obviously, like, how many years are we after it? Like 4? Yeah, 4. So it's not that long of a time, but I mean, I actually have a funny story where, and it just shows you like that we were not the only year to think this about the teachers and stuff like that. I was on the set of a TV show, I think it was like a year or like 2 years after it, and I was speaking to one of the guys that like another actor on it, and I was speaking about college, and we were just talking about like where we started. Well, I didn't start at college, but like he was talking about how he got into acting and stuff like that, and he was like on about he had quite a hard time there, like mentally and stuff like that, and I was like, oh, what college did you go to? And it was the same one. So I was like, oh. And then I was like speaking about my situation with like the Finsta and all this, and he literally turned around to me and he went, wait, you're that girl?
I remember you telling me this.
And I was like, sorry? I mean, yeah, but like...
I mean, yeah. But wait, hold up. Wait, what way do you mean as in I am that bitch? Or like, you know me before? You know,
yeah.
Literally.
And he literally went and got like his other like 2 pals who they were from like that college that were on the same show, and he went and got them and was like, guys, like this is like the girl, like this is like the girl from college who stood up to the teachers. And I was like, what do you mean? Like, what do you mean? He was like, nobody has ever stood up to them the way you stood up to them, and because of you they put in like a social media policy, like they literally put a policy because of me. And he was like, nobody's ever like stood up to them, like we all wanted to say the exact same things that like you said, and basically legendary, if I just
you had a legacy. You have a legacy now.
And I hope they still think about me, honestly.
They probably do, girl. They made a whole policy about you, like, not gonna lie. No tagging anyone as da baby is one of the rules.
But it does just show you those people that I was on set with finished their entire like probably like BA maybe,
yeah,
like
definitely.
they finished like all of their years, and I was on the same set as them and I dropped out. So whether you go to college or whether you finish the entire thing, don't like base that on how successful you're gonna be.
Oh yeah, totally. I'd say it's a good big talent based thing as well. Like if you could get a good, like if you can act your absolute socks off and get a good agent in that, and then like work on it, like you can do anything. Like, and I would like that if you have that passion, you have that dream, and say like you've had the same experience as like at college and you didn't like enjoy it, don't just give up, you know, like keep trying, like never give up on like what you want to do. And that just because again, like you said, like we met people that have the same problems as us, and they went on to do bigger and better things too, and it's just nice to see like other people they struggled and they said that was hell, but they still persevered, and look at them now, you know, like they're doing well.
But at the time they didn't even say anything. It's always at the very end of it, after it, that they're like, oh, actually I was going through the exact same thing. So you never know. Yeah,
you should always kind of speak up, and I'd say be like kind of like, if the class was more open and actually honest about things, then I think that would have worked out better than making some people feel horrible for being so emotionally vulnerable about stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So anyway, that was just a recap on our college experience, and we thought, thanks for listening to us, and thanks for like letting us share our thoughts and opinions on it. And if anyone's had like a similar experience, please let us know in the comments. Like, we would love to know.
Yeah.
The more the merrier. And if you had a good experience and stuff like that, please let us know too.
Yeah.
Because we'd be willing to hear everyone out and just getting to know everyone's opinions and stuff. But yeah, so thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
I hope you enjoyed us having a wee guest on. It's been an absolute pleasure. And yeah, so if you've got Instagram and you want to follow us over there, we are Hear Me Out Pod on Instagram, but with a 0 on pod instead of the O. Yeah, because it was taken. So and the same on TikTok. And yeah, so thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you in the next episode.
Bye.
Bye.